We've just witnessed the biggest tsunami of this year. And now, the consequences here. That wasn't just another full moon. It was the full and biggest supermoon of 20, the one that closes the year, stamps it, and makes it even go. This is the moment where your body knows before your mind catches up, and the spiritually attuned people are already feeling the symptoms. Your brain is sharper, but your mouth is quieter. That's not all. That's when you're observing more than you ate. Catching things in seconds take you hours. Little details, hidden motives, emotional shifts. You're processing them instantly. And the wild part, you feel the need to explain yourself anymore. You speak less, understand more. This is the kind of shift where silence becomes power. People listen when you talk now because they can feel you matters. But the sharpness comes with another one most people don't realize until it hits them all at once.
Just want to finish my food real quick. Have you all been feeling this lately? Signs of the new moon. How has it affected you? Has it affected you? If so, has it been a positive effect or not? I'm just curious to know who all been experiencing this and who all been feeling this type of way.
You're present, but it feels like you're dreaming. That's because reality lagged behind your frequency. After a supermoon that's powerful, the world around you doesn't update to match your needs. So today, there's a strange in between feeling like a version of reality that hasn't fully to last night. Everything looks the same, everything feels the same. You're fully awake, but there's this surreal softness to the day, like you're walking through a memory instead of a moment. You might catch yourself zoning out mid-conversation, but because the words entering your ears feel too slow for the speed of your mind. You're listening, but a part of you is observing from the outside, like you're watching yourself play a role you're no longer attached. Even hearing your own voice might feel strange, almost like an echo of a previous version of you, one you've all stepped out of. Sensation isn't randomness. It's what happens when your awareness evolves faster than your physical environment. Your soul already shifted, sees things differently, readily, processes differently, but the world around you is still functioning at the pace you were in before the supermoon hit. That mismatch creates what like a soft desynchronization, the sense of being here, but not. You might be walking, but it feels like the ground is slightly delayed beneath your feet. You're surrounded, everything feels a few frames behind. You might interact with people, but their reactions seem slower. Like your mind is running a different clock. It isn't negative. Instead, moved fast in your outer circumstances. Think of it like your soul sprinted and your is jogging behind, trying to catch. And until it does, you're going to feel a strange combination of clarity and distance, like you're watching your own with a sharper lens than you've ever used before. But here's the good part. This disconnection is temporary, and it's alignment, not balance. It means you're pursuing overnight, and your reality is rearranging itself to match it. And when it snaps back into sync, there's a new wave of symptoms, the physical kind, showing up. You heal faster, agile anymore. One of the most surprising aftershocks of this supermoon is happening inside your physical body, and most people don't even realize it's connected. You may notice that things that used to take days to recover from are now clear in a fraction of the time. Soreness you expected to feel all week, you woke up and it was practically gone. The cold you felt coming on, headache, the heaviness, the pressure, somehow became a full collapse. Something shifted. A conversation that would have for days barely dented you this time. This isn't random or placebo. This is what happens when your system suddenly into things you no longer resonate with. Emotional load gets lighter, the body reallocates that energy back into heat while your recovery feels faster. Your cells aren't clogged by stress responses anymore. They're running cleaner, smoother, and more efficiently than they have in a long time. The supermoon acted as a purifier for your internal environment. Not in a mystical, cliche way, but in a practical sense. When emotional tension dissolves, tension drops. When you stop forcing yourself into draining situations, your nervous system shifts out of survival mode. When your mind stops spinning, you're compensating. It's lying inside you. Find a space to catch its breath. Notice little things. Your digestion feels easier. Your muscles feel less tight. Your breathing noticing better. Or waking up with more clarity, heaviness. You might even find your distress more trouble, not because you're suppressing anything, but because your system isn't overloaded anymore. Resilience you're feeling, that's real. Your bounce back is shrinking. Energy is no longer scattered. Your healing is faster because your body isn't fighting your emotion at the same time. This is the physical benefit of shedding emotion you didn't even know you were carrying. Just elevate your mind. It clears the static out of your whole system. And the more days that pass after this moon, the more you notice how different your body feels. It's not dragging around old tension.
I watched a little bit of this the other night. Really good watch. Not sure if I synced it all the way through without the ads. I got to love it. But I really saw this. All right. It's this crypto wallet I'm gonna share with y'all. They got different cryptos on this platform than they do on another one that I've been showing y'all. But it's one in particular that I want to share right after this is over with.
Shift your inner world. It wiped out your tolerance for anything that feels forced, shallow, or energetic. Suddenly, the people you used to deal with are loud. Your body isn't malfunctioning. It's free. You're feeling tension around certain people without them doing anything wrong, and you're wanting to cancel plan without being able to explain it. Refusing to waste energy on dead freak interactions. The supermoon didn't illuminate the sky. It illuminated everyone's motives, behaviors, and tensions with a level of clarity you can't turn off. It erased the buffer zone you used to have between yourself and inauthenticity. And now, your spirit reacts instantly to something that doesn't match where you're going, pushing people away. You're becoming sensitive to the difference between connection and noise. And the more you notice it, the more something else starts happening beneath us. Something even strange, social shift. You're not crazy. Your gut reacting to moon stress is one of the first places this moon hit. And that's appetite has been behaving like it has own. This wasn't just a bright moon in the sky. This was the biggest and final supermoon 2025.
Now, contrary to what I show and to what I believe, how many of you done your I know a lot of people do rituals and spells and stuff like that, especially on super moons or full moons. And in particular, what they do is they do water spells, meaning they supercharge an intention, an emotion, a desire, while filling a clear vessel of water. You say, all right, I'm gonna fill this up with good intentions, and then what you do is you seal it up, you put it outside overnight, but before the moon's over with, you get it and you drink it all. And you basically fill yourself up with whatever you put in that water, and it be supercharged from the moon. I did it before, like as far as if you want money, you just be like, all right, I'm filling this up for $100 tomorrow, or whatever, right? You could be detailed or not detailed, but if you're not detailed, then you just get the basics of whatever's going to come your way. And then it amplifies that energy, it amplifies the experiences, and it like kind of magnetizes it towards you. Sometimes they say don't do it because certain moons are certain energy field. Like the last one, they was like, don't do your water stuff or whatever. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. To those of you who know about this type of stuff or participate in it, I would like to know: did you or did you not take advantage of this past super moon?
One with enough gravitational force.
The energy is real, whether you believe in Christ or Buddha, Allah, whoever, whatever. Um, Even nothing at all, you know, these secret societies or whatever, right? There's real power in this world. It's real power that you can tap into. But there's rules to it, just like there's rules to the universe, there's rules and laws that govern the land. Certain rules that you must apply. Could manipulate energy. That's what basically people do. Is what it is. And also calling on spirits to do things for you as well, like the Holy Spirit and whatever other spirit y'all know about that y'all be dealing with. I don't know.
Ocean time and human instinct at the same time. Your gut doesn't respond with logic. It responds with survival patterns. And after a move, its own version of stable, understand later. That's why so many people are noticing bizarre patterns right now.
My bad. I'm anxious about my finances. Other than that, I don't really turn on notifications. But they were just telling me XRP going up. Like 20 minutes ago, I think. Actually, they coming in back to back to back. It's like 40 minutes ago. Which I'm not sure what that is. But they up to like 28 cents, almost 30 cents. XRP did go up to those 50 minutes ago. What they got going on is pretty powerful. Within the next 4 days, they're launching live ETF. So what is happening is ETFs. Let me just we'll break this down in a bit. We'll get into that.
1 minute, your heavy meal.
But if you are curious to start making money in the markets, uh, one big move is happening this next week. November is a big month as far as leaving this year. No limit November, leaving the year with a strong finish. It's three things that's going to pop off coming into next year. That's going to be the talk of the year. It's like, they're going to be like, oh, if y'all was focused on this last year, you could have made this move, which is 2026. This is about to happen. Of course, we have all these things going on, and look at dude hand, his hand backward, right here. If you can see him on my screen, his nail is right here. It look like I'm an artist, so I critique other people's shit as well as mine. Like they could have did better with this drawing. But anyway, people will keep telling you about or talking about Dodge, which has had its moment already, and that moment has passed. And if you're still waiting on that, you might just continuously wait. Not sure when it will have its next moment, but I'm pretty sure that ship has sailed already. But in case if you missed that, no worries, because XLM, what I was just telling you about, XRP, which they had their moment already as well, but they're in position for another moment. You might not want to miss out on this. A few months ago with XRP, they had a big move. It went from what was like $1 and some change to $3. So if you had $100, you bought 100 XRPs, you would have made $200 profit plus the extra $100 that you had already. You could have took the 100 out and had $200 extra just from September when that move happened. And if you was paying attention before September, which before it went to $1, you could have took that same $100 and bought 200, and you would have three times doubled up on that same $100. And then we'll get into all of this later on. But these moves happen, and they happen overnight. They happen throughout the day. The last time a move like this happened, it was for 40 days in a row, which was Stellar XLM. No, it was XRP. That was what happened for the 40 days. It was XRP. I just read this article. And plus, I was a part of it, but I didn't know that it was within that 40 days that it had been took off. I was in it for like 20 days, maybe. Made my little profit, and then I cashed out. And then October, what they call it, October, why they call it October is because for the past 5 years, like I always say, history repeats itself, but not exactly the same way. And with that being said, every October for the past 10 years, except for 2 years out of the 10, every October Bitcoin had its biggest moves. Meaning every October Bitcoin had its all-time high or its yearly all-time high, whatever, right? So that happened 8 times out of 10 years. And this was supposed to be the 11th year, which it happened again, October the 1st. You heard Bitcoin went to 120,000. And right after that, government shut down, Bitcoin dropped. But nevertheless, just like it happened before, Bitcoin reached another all-time high for October. But it was shortly lived because of what's going on in the world today. And therefore, Bitcoin actually had a reversal of October. They dropped pretty heavy. But nevertheless, history repeated itself. And you only had one day to make that move if you was into the cryptos at that time. Leaving from September into October, everybody was talking about October, which I didn't know until this year. Did a little history, did a little research, and yeah, this year performed just like every other year, right on schedule. But it didn't go for the whole October. Usually, from October till the rest of the year, the currencies will just keep rising. Of course, they'll go up and down like any and everything, but for the most part, they're uptrending. They're uptrending for the rest of the year until like mid January, February. where everybody's on the news talking about, did you catch these moves? Did you make enough money within this uptrend? Right now, they're in consolidation, meaning it's kind of staggering. And this is what you will learn from doing Forex. The Forex chart is the most in depth chart to me, in my opinion. But nevertheless, you can learn any and every chart through Forex, which all of the charts are similar. They have the um I forget what they call it, the markings, like the book, the diligent bands, the moving averages and stuff like that. They're indicators. They have indicators to let you know what's happening, what may happen, to give you a high probability for your prediction. And that's what basically the markets are. They're high probabilities of what may happen with a company, a stock, and or asset or metals. You know, like assets can be metals, Berkshire Hathaway, which is real estate, different country currencies. Like you have the yen, Japanese yen, you have the euro, and then the other different currencies, right? Uh, Australian dollar, the odd, different things or whatever, right? So you learn these things in the market, and with anything and everything, the more time you put into it, the more you get out of it. Meaning, what you don't know, you just don't know, and it's fine. But if you don't give yourself time, you don't give yourself room to make mistakes, then you will never learn. Just like I picked up Spanish a couple years ago, exactly a couple years ago, about 2 years ago, from time to time. The more you put into studying and learning, the more you get from it. So that's it. That's all. You know, I'm not as fluent as I would like to be, but I do know how to read, write, and speak just a little bit of Spanish. And as far as the markets, I know a little bit as well. You know, I know how to navigate my way through, is basically what I'm saying. But why I said that was to say this, because three coins that are getting ready to launch this year, pre-sale. That's how people make the most money, through the pre-sale. If anybody know anything about celebrities and or high-end fashion, goods, services, products, you're kind of familiar with pre-sales and how pre-sales work, right? And if not, then I'll break it down. So you might have something that's a hot commodity, meaning something that's popular to the people by high demand. Maybe that be a Tesla car, maybe it be the new Crocs, you know, as far as shoes, athletic wear. Maybe it's a new ingredient. Doritos just came out with something spicy, right? And I'm not saying that they did, but it's just an example. These are hot commodities, and now they're like, okay, y'all like what we did with this. Now we're finna come out with something new, something exclusive. But we only made so many so far. We're gonna make more. So we're gonna get ready to drop this on December the 1st. This is the pre-sale to help us get more, make more, put more in production, whatever, right? Take money to make money. So the little money that I did have, I invested in this product that I'm going to launch for you all, give you all a chance to get it before the public can get it. And this is the pre-sale. I have probably 100,000 of whatever this thing is, and once that's gone, we're going to re-up, and then the public will be able to get something different, which is going to be an extension of what we just had, but not as good as what we just had. So if I drop a new iPhone, right, this iPhone that's going on pre-sale is going to have features that the one for the public is not going to have. So we're going to have a thousand limited edition product that's for public use, is accessible, is ready to be in your possession. And if you take advantage, you will be one of the exclusive ones to enjoy these benefits, right? Now, that's exactly what's going on with these cryptos. They have pre-launches. How do you hear about these things? You go to um, what are they? Public exchange. You go to a public exchange to see what's being released to the public, right? Just like with Robinhood, as far as stocks, they call them IPOs, initial public offerings. Cryptos, they call them. I just forgot what I just said. They call them exchanges. They're going on exchange. and therefore it be out for the public, right? And you can have access to these pre-sales, like with the IPOs. When I show you guys, I've been showing you guys, they give me access to companies that's launching. Like, let's just get into it. We'll get back to this in a bit. IPOs, why are they important? Why are they sharing this information with me? Okay, so look, let me share this tab instead if it's showing. Okay, yeah. All right, so and everything green is cool. And what I do is I take money out every week, sometimes twice a week, and I move it into other things. But and I'll show you another wallet where I have other money in, like what I was just telling y'all, because certain assets are on here and certain assets are on another platform. But anyway, this platform lets me know the exclusive companies that are going public that I want to be a part of. Like this is the third, fourth one this year since they've been allowing me to get a piece of the pie early. So this is another company that's going to launch in 2 days. This is called Glue. The price range is between $10 and $12, whatever. And then they'll drop the final price soon, which is expected. Oh, that's on the 19th. So they're not going to launch until 10 more days. But within that 2 days, you'll know what the price is going to be. Right now, they're selling it for $14.40. And then when the price drop, whether it be 10 or 12, you'll get the extras back. Let me see how many they got. They usually show like how many they got for the public to buy out. I think that's it. So yeah, this it right here. This is their S1A. This is going public, and with the cryptos, they do the same thing. It's called S1A, and this is the letter to the states, United States Security and Exchange Commission. But for the cryptos, they go through through an exchange as well. It's a different exchange. You got to register with the Form S1, which XRP just registered again for to become an ETF. You register with the IRS, Employer Identification Number. This is their stuff. This is their amendment. Wait, no, I didn't. Okay. So when you do contracts, like smart contracts, which is cryptocurrencies, that's what we do. Those are called ER 1122 for the NFT tokens and ER 20 for the cryptos. And then you'll have like a form like this, but I'll show you my form in a bit. This is called like the white sheet and where they're going to go public at. How many bases they have, I mean. So yeah, it's just a little breakdown of the company, what they're trying to do, and how they want to affect the world in whatever way. Scott Beck is their co-founder. I might have went over the information, but I didn't see it. Usually they have like 100 billion or less, no more than 100 billion. With the cryptos and then with the shares, they usually have. So they have 2,093,000 shares that they're releasing to the public. We have granted the underwriters an option to purchase up to an additional 1,365,000 shares of our Class A common stock. And then they got another 2 million in reserve for options. So they're going public with 3 million. It's about 3 million. 300,000, about like 400,000, 3.4. So at that 3.4, if you wanted the millions, because these are the ones that they're going public with, for where was it at? So they got 9,100,000 shares. But with the 3 million they put up, those are for the Class A, which is like the the staff or whatnot, and then the other class is for the people who have different exchanges, like the initial IPO launches. They got 2 million of those. Like if you want to buy it, then it's 2 million people who get pre-sale basically. The other million put up for their staff if they want to get them. So it goes staff first, then the other investors who usually invest, and then it goes to public for whoever want to get it from however they get it or whatever exchange they go get it from. And they saying that they're valued between 10 and 12 bucks per share. Once they go public on the 11th, which is scheduled to drop, they'll have that price drop. The IRS will be basically have them in the system on how much they're worth and everything like that, and they go through all of the standard procedures. Like the General Counsel of Secretary, President, Chief Executive, that's Scott Beck. They're outfunded in Colorado. So yeah, this is one of many. This one is dropping November. This is the first to drop November. Let me see. Is it? Yeah, the first one's out. We had a 4 in October, which was Navin, Phoenix, Fermi, and Pattern. I've had Navin and I've had Pattern. Didn't get a chance to buy these two because we missed that chance. But they up $4 at the moment. We did buy in at them at like 38. They 20 up 20 cents. They've been going through it. The Pattern we got up out the race with this, but it is what it is. We missing out on $3 in profit. But they holding strong. They had a little dip, which was right away. It went up to 16. People sold out and it struggled for weeks. This was September the 19th. So actually they do 2 a month. These two came in September. These two came in October. This is October 9th. And they currently up 20 cents. And then this one dropped October 30th. And they currently down $7. I had lost money with them because I got out at like 18. They haven't recovered since. So I was like, fuck it, right? I thought they was gonna basically penalize me for doing that because I'm supposed to sell out within the 60 days. Or they call it like flipping. He already done lost $5. We'll let him go ahead because they telling me about this. That's how I know they didn't restrict me from doing it again. And I just did this last week when shit was getting rough. I was like, fuck it, I'm about to get up out of that because my other wallet over here, it make more sense to have it in staking, which is like in what they call it, savings. Basically, you could put cryptos into savings. And what I found out was that they have high yielding rates. So this is a way to make that money back while sitting. Wait, what? So this the one that I was talking about. It's called the Atom coin. This one was at $44. It's as cheap as it can be right now. Go back to the markets. Oh yeah, these you can stake too. I'll go back to that. So let me just go back to it. What's this market? So this one right here, they up 39%. You can stake with these. Let me see. It's at $2.96, almost $3. They don't show right here. Let me just go to transactions. So you can stake these. It say staking. And what that means is you can put it into your savings. Into well, basically they save it at up to 3 days. So they pay out every Thursday, and they up to 16.2% APY. It initiated on this November 7th. Actually, no. Was that November 7th? Yeah, I did 2 transactions on that day. So it completed, but it hasn't gained interest yet. That's why it didn't show anything. Where it says next reward calculating, because Monday it'll being dropped in their situation, and then it'll being add up how much they'll pay out by Thursday, and then every Thursday it'll be just a little bit more. So you go back to XRP on stake, but these do Cardinal. I just took all of these out and put them into staking with this. Let me show you what all you can stake too. So if you want, you don't want to worry about if the price is going up and down. You don't have to worry about that. That's what this is for. You can buy a few coins and let them sit, let the price go up and down. So like I just staked this the other day and it's already up 1 cent because it's gaining yield is yielding percent. It's gaining interest. And then once I get paid on Thursday, they'll show me how much more it'll be gaining. So then it'll start totaling up. But since it's just sitting there, it already just earned this much as far as the price going up. So you earn both ways. You earn from the price going up and then it sit to the side. And then you earn from it sitting just period. Um so what this is like you have a few coins, right? And whenever somebody uses a transaction, because not use a transaction, they do a transaction. Certain cryptos have special functions like Ethereum. Ethereum is the only coin that basically has a DeFi system, meaning through Ethereum you could build other cryptos. Bitcoin was the number one and the only one until Ethereum came around, and Ethereum has functions where it was able to create other coins. So if you want to create a crypto coin, you would use Ethereum because it has that function. It also is a two-layer chain, meaning it has multiple functions. So um, Ethereum, you can stake that as well. They have reward systems. Solana was next in line to do similar thing that Ethereum did. You could use no, you can't. No, you can't. I forget what Solana is about. It's kind of popular like Ethereum, but Ethereum does that. Let me go back because I have this was XRP is similar to Ethereum trying to make a coin that well not trying to make a coin. It is a coin that has certain functions, and when you use explain Ethereum, its function and its purpose. Yeah. All right. What about Solana? So yeah, that's where the smart contracts come from through Ethereum. And that's what I was just showing you guys as far as the contracts. When you want to go public and you want to create something and you make contracts, that's what the stock was about. And they go through different outlets to do so. But as far as Ethereum, it's its own entity, own authority, so you don't have to go through anything. But though it's kind of like the dark web, but they call it DeFi or Web 3, which is a whole nother internet source through crypto. Like blockchain, you heard of blockchain, familiar with blockchain. Solana is its own blockchain that, and the blockchain is basically this. It's where they track transactions. So if you buy some crypto, it'll get put into a block. You sell it, it'll get put to another block, and all those blocks get added together as far as your transactions with whatever coin. And then once the day is over with, it goes into another one, and then they link all your blocks together. That's the blockchain. Every transaction is put into a block, and then they link all your transactions together through blocks, or whatever. So Solana is something like that. It keeps track of transactions, rewards, and other things like that. And these are certain, like Solana, you could stake them, buy it, and then I'm not sure how much they cost, but you could buy them, hold them, and gain interest off of it. Polkadot, they're pretty cheap, I think. These are all the cryptos that you can buy and gain interest off of. So yeah, staking, Cosmos, and Ether. And then Solana is like almost $200 at the moment. It's pretty cheap. It's gonna be the next Ethereum, which next year will probably be at like 1,000, a couple. Yeah, it'll probably be like at 2,500. Um, Ethereum just reached 4,500 this year from 2,500. These are the other ones, but this is only one platform where they do staking. They do staking on other ones like the Robinhood I was showing you guys, and they only stake two cryptos, which is Solana and Ethereum. That's why I have different platforms to go into because you can do different things and capitalize off different platforms and even put lists together too. Like you have a idea of what to go invest in. These are dividends, meaning they pay every month or two, depending on how frequent they reward. So basically, like tariffs, right? Um, I know they heard about the talks about the government trying to send out some checks using the tariff fund. A tariff is basically like a dividend. Like if you have a piece of something that has a reward and you put that reward to the side, it's the extra. When you buy a piece of somebody's company, meaning a stock, which is a share of their company, and you hold on to it, they pay you pieces of that whenever their company profits every month or every 2 months or however often. Some do it every month, but that's a dividend, and that's what it is. Just like if we make goods in America and we sell them overseas, we get a percentage of those things, which are the tariff, which is the tax, basically. And all of these companies here, you can get a piece of their taxes if you buy one piece of their property. I mean, their company. They all listed at different prices. You don't get dividends if you don't own a full share. So if you don't want to pay like this one's $84.29, if you don't want to pay that much, then you'll go find a company that's a little cheaper. Like this one is $9.46. They pay at 1.80%. And as you can see, like it don't matter how much they cost. Some of them just pay out different percentages, depending on how good they do or however much they want to keep for themselves. It's a list. It just goes like from top to bottom. And of course, like this pay 2%. That's at 50. This one at 2%, which is at $2. So it don't really matter. Like if the company costs a lot or less, it just depends on how good they do or they don't. And it also depends on what industry they're in as well, because Some industries never really fail, like technology, depending on what kind of technology, AI, depending on what kind of AI, agriculture, depending on what kind of foods and goods are being shipped, seeds, and this here is real estate. This is properties are always in the market, whether it's up or down. They never really fail, especially if you have commercial buildings or government buildings like that. This here is Service Properties Trust is a real estate investment trust which engages in the provision of hospitality and travel services. So, it's been around since 1995 in Newton, Massachusetts, giving out hospital things and travel services. So they have headquarters in Massachusetts, man. They probably have like an airport that they facilitate different things and or different travel type of things, bus companies, airports, train stations. But they've been doing this since uh, 1995. Their earnings are down, but everybody has been struggling a little bit because the government shutdown affects big corporations and harder the smaller corporations. The thing why this hurts small businesses because uh they need shipments, import and export. Majority of these small businesses import a lot of things. They're not really shipping out as much. So when they can't have different fabrics, different technology, it slows them down a little bit. Like Ford Motor, they're doing pretty good. They're pretty consistent with their price. For years, they was at like $6. They've been growing really, really, really slow, but they pay dividends. So if you want to grow double with them, that was a good way to do it. Like if you got like back then, let me see, when was this? Let's go back 5 years. So yeah, like I said, it was like around $6 when I had one. And if I was just held on for that 1 year, it went all the way to $25, which is 2022. Paying good dividends as well. They pay 5.68%. So this was a good company to grow with. I mean, of course they failed at one point, but what was that? January 2022. Now this Tezos, they almost at $3 right now. But if you buy one and hold on to January, that's when they did their biggest move. It was at $44. Let me see if they on here. Here they go. They on here. So yeah, watch this one. They did a big move. I just found this out on Uphold. September 24th, 2021. But they started off at like $5. They currently under $5. So this just let you know that they got massive potential. They doing something right to reach $40. So that really was a $39 profit. If you spent $10, it would have been a $60 profit. Almost 70. So my math is probably a little off. But from what was that, July to September, they just been growing for months. The other one I showed was only like a 40-day run. Some of them do months. They go months at a time. So if they missed that $5 get in, then they got back in at $10. Probably spent 20 and just rode the wave for a couple months. Nice little come up. But I'm pretty sure they had their pre-launch way before December 24th. December 20th. So that's the best time to get into these when they do the pre-launch. Because once they did the pre-launch and then they finally launched, it probably was like 50 cents. And then it went straight to $5. And for $5, it just grew slowly and surely. And then it popped. There's 12 coins getting ready to pre-launch this year that has pre-launched, and they'll be on the exchange. One being so is, you can buy them now, of course. Little Peppy, this is a beta one. I have this one as well. So yeah, Peppy, they got, and then Penguin. So this one way under $1, way under 10 cents. You spend $5 and probably get like 70,000 of these coins. And then they about to pre-launch, and they gonna pre-launch at 30 cents. And then to 80 cents. This is exactly what happened with Dogecoin, how so many people made millions off Dogecoin, even though it's less than $1 right now, because they bought in at the pre-launch. And look how much Dogecoin is right now. It's only like 21 cents. Probably not even. Probably like 18 cents. 18 cents, exactly. So that's how people was able to make millions off Dogecoin. See, when they pre-launched, 2020, it was less than 10 cents. And then it went to 30 cents. 57 cents. Now it's like, wow, what's 57 cents? It's a whole lot. If you spent probably $20 and bought a million coins that was under 10 cents, and then you just held on until a couple months and made those millions, 21,000%. That's a high move from May. Well, actually from December 2020 to May 21st. So it was a 5-month ordeal. But look how they came into the new year and ended that year. That's exactly what they're getting ready to do with Peppy. Like I told you, they're gonna launch and be at 30 cents, maybe 80 cents. But this one was dropped and launched at 50 cents. And once everybody heard about Dodge, they wanted to buy in, and they was like, "Well, why are they doing nothing? Because it already did." And now it's struggling to do something else. This coin wasn't designed to do a lot. It was a meme coin, popular by uh by accident, kind of, sort of. These are altcoins, what they call them, alternative coins, mainly memes. The next meme coin is looking Pudgy Penguin. They have a lot as well, like XLM. These are the coins nobody talks about because they don't want everybody to buy them all up. A whale is somebody like who take advantage now, right? Like if you buy a million coins, 10 million, once it go up to $1, People ain't gonna spend $1 million to buy a million coins. They're just not gonna do it. But some of them will. Just like with Bitcoin, they did the same thing. They bought up millions before it went to $1, and then now it is what it is. Those the ones who move the market as much because they have majority of the coins, and majority of the coins is worth, you know, if you got 21,000 coins, that's probably like $4 billion, which is crazy. But I mean, it is what it is because they go up in value. And XLM is trying to break off. It's running the same chart as Bitcoin, but what it's trying to do is branch off because it's having more functions. As far as it being a credit card, is RLUSD. They're trying to make it a new dollar. Let me see. What up? Um, XRP and its latest moves and transitions in the cryptocurrency field, and as well as ETF transition. What's all going on with XRP Ripple? Tell me the latest, what you can find. ETFs, explain it. What's the benefit of it? What's the purpose? Ripple, the XRP going public as an ETF this year, this month, in a few days. Don't say that no more. Don't don't keep on repeating the same stuff. I don't want to hear that no more. What do you know about November 13th? It may be an historical event. Ripple is launching ETF, going live on the S1A contract. How much will it start off as far as the initial pricing? And with that being done, how will it affect the current Ripple's price? Yes. Yeah. On the Uphold platform, December 1st, what do you know about Ripple going live with loaning out cryptocurrency? I said on Up Wallet. What do you know about Up Wallet and XRP on Up Wallet? I mean Uphold, yeah, right, Uphold. Okay, I know about it, but tell me about the XRP Ripple December 1st move specific. Indeed. Check it out. And let me know what's up. No, Uphold. What's going on with Ripple? Latest addition to the app or website. Do you know anything about its latest projects on Uphold? All right. But anyway, I read an article where they were saying Uphold is going to start allowing XRP holders to take out loans on XRP. So I was like, that's a pretty good thing. That was what drew my interest in it in the end. I went on, grabbed a few, whatever, right? Waiting on December 1st. Nevertheless, need to say they come out with another announcement that they're going to be launching an ETF on November 13th. They was pushing contracts because of the government shutdown, and usually this takes like 120 days after you petition for the S1A contract or whatever. Like if I wanted to do a smart contract as far as creating a crypto, which is this is how you start. This is what they started with, and then once you want to upgrade it, you upgrade the contract, which would be a S1A. But anyway, with the smart contracts, which is the ER20s or the ER 1122, those take within 24 hours to launch an update. And if it approved within those 24 hours, sometimes it approved right away and it just launched right away. But with these, it takes 120 days. But with the government shutdown, it's indefinite on how long it would take. But nevertheless, they was able to push through to get this done on and launch officially on November 13th. So that's a good thing because EFTs, if they just broke it down, if you didn't really quite understand what they were saying, what it is a way to buy stocks and bonds. Like I was showing you, a few of these are different in my dividend list. If you want to buy stocks, bonds, or any company of shares that pays dividends and you can't afford it, best way to do so is by getting it in a bundle, by getting like a little bit of gold, maybe a few real estate properties or companies, and maybe a little bit of agriculture. some farms or maybe some weed, cannabis companies, even in some cryptos. You can have all those in one little ETF, right? And whatever that ETF purchase, let's go check them out. Whatever the price is like you got a whole thing of it, and that's how you get in like that, right? So let's check it out. ETFs. They're on different exchanges. A little slow. We're gonna do a few companies and see what those companies have to offer, like the SPDR, SP 500, right? That's SPY, that's their symbol. Vanguard 500 ETF. We're gonna check them out. So you guys know about Vanguard. They're $618 right now. The fund is passively managed to hold large cap US stocks selected by an SP committee. And what they have in this is technology, consumer clinical, healthcare, financial services, communication services, industrials, energy, real estate, utilities, consumer defense, and basic materials. And what they have is 1.6% of basic materials invested in, 2.38% of utilities, and so forth and so on. So if you want a piece of these companies, you will pay 618 for one share of all of these. If you want two shares, you will pay $1,035, well, $37, and that's two shares. And dividends, do they? Yes, they do. No, that's a 30-day yield. I'm not sure, to be honest. Maybe, maybe not. Let's ask my consultant. Expenses ratio usually do, but my consultant not available. Let me ask my other one. I'm not sure, to be honest, if they pay dividends or they just have high yield rates.
Hey, Aaron.
What up?
Hey, Aaron. What's new?
Do Vanguard ETF pay dividends?
Vanguard ETFs typically pay dividends, but the payout schedule and amounts can vary by.
Gosh, you man, run it back.
To get the most
Hey. All right, whatever. So yeah, they pay dividends. I was right. That's the 30-day yield. I guess they do it every. So you really can't. A smaller one. It's $26. I got this right here. So like you can get ETFs for it pretty cheap. That's why they make a lot of money off ETFs, because there's so many things in one. Let's see how they've been doing the past 5 years. So they've been moving pretty steady. Every year they go up $1. I mean, not bad. And they have consumer defense, industrial, technology, communication services, utilities, basic materials, consumer cynical, financial services, healthcare, and energy. So really, out of these companies, majority of them have consumer defense, energy, healthcare, and then they start breaking it down between consumer cynical and industrial, and which ties in with technology and financial services. So they all run head to head, but of course, industrials are top dog when it comes to financial and technology. Majority of their portfolio is energy, which is refined oil, gas, oil field services and equipment, pipeline operators, and/or companies that mine thermal coal and/or uranium. So this is kind of like minerals, basic materials that's different, or metals. Energy, yeah, you can go with metals and like uranium. They be having um, what's that other stuff? Uranium. Um, Let me see where they got the stuff at. I can't even think of what it's called anymore. Energy, like 55% technology. Oh, they don't got much of energy. Uranium is on technology. They got technology, semiconductors, components, equipment, data, storage products, networking products, computer equipment. So they probably be minting coins like Bitcoin. Usually, if they doing this with that type of technology, they got a energy building as well. What about utilities? Yeah. Consumer cynical. I'm not sure what that is. Lodging facilities, specialty retail and travel companies. Companies, travel companies, manufacturer, auto parts, retail stores. So this basically like Walmart, Pep Boys, uh, Spirit Airlines or American Airlines, stuff like that. For $600, you could get Cisco Triple Q. The only ETFs I do is in my retirement account, and right now I just sent out my investing, and I'm only investing in crypto right now on this because the government shutdown. It's not looking pretty. See, I just transferred this money, and then I canceled this order, and then I transferred this money again. So on this day I transferred a lot, and then I canceled the order. Because I was gonna do Costco shipping international, which they pay dividends, but shit, it was the weekend. But I put the order in before 4 o'clock, but I'm not sure if they're in America or not, so it didn't go through. Let's go check them out. If they in America, it should have went through. If not, then I missed it. Because overseas, usually the people who I deal with is over there in Africa or like China, and they're like 5 hours ahead. So this company is Singapore. Yep. So yeah, I missed them because they're not over here. Singapore. Um, I'm not sure what that is. Singapore. I want to say Africa, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know what this company is, but I know they're not over here. Yeah, we running out. Okay, let me ask them real quick. Singapore. I think it's Africa.
Singapore is actually located in Southeast Asia, not Africa. It's an island city-state off the southern tip of the Malay Peninsula, bordered by the Strait of Malacca to the west, the Singapore Strait to the south, the South China Sea to the east, and the Straits of Johor along with the state of Johor in Malaysia to the north. It's 1 degree north of the equator.
Damn. Do they have weird monopolies going on there? Which that not really. I just heard something about that though. The equator, right? They say every animal on that side, which is by Asia, Africa, what I was talking about, and every animal on the north side, which is America, whatever. They never go across that line. They say it's like a visible borderline or something like that where these animals don't cross for some reason. I was like, wow, word. You can check it out. The invisible line that animals do not cross. Experience two story. No, that's not it. So this is right here. Talk about why animals don't cross this line, and this is what he was just talking about, that borderline, the equator. Check this out real quick. I just heard about.
Can you believe that there's an invisible line that is crossed by fish, land animals, or even birds? This invisible barrier runs through the Malay archipelago, starting from the island of Bali and ending near the southern Philippines. The western side of the line is home to animals like rhinos, elephants, tigers, and woodpeckers, which are typical of Asia. But once you cross the line, you enter a complete world with kangaroos, monitor lizards, dingoes, and koalas, despite the extremely short distance between the islands. This is what scientists call a biological boundary, and this particular one is known as the Wallace Line. You see, over millions of years, due to the movement of tectonic plates and the complex geological history of the region, a deep sea strait formed on the Wallace Line. This strait prevented animals from migrating, and as a result, evolution took its own path on opposite sides of this line. Therefore, even birds and fish that can cross long distances almost never cross this line as they have adapted to survive only within their own ecosystems. Can you believe an invisible line that is not crossed by
So I don't know if that's the reason why, but yeah, I was like, that's interesting. They trying to do studies on it. They say it's invisible wall. I don't know. I ain't see no wall, but let's see if they. I could tell if it's AI videos too, so we're gonna check it out real quick.
How cool is this? Are you
Imagine a line that no animal cross. No bird would fly across it. No mammal would dare to. Can you imagine it? And now let's make it even more intriguing. This line is invisible and does not exist in physical reality. But its impact is so mighty that even the forces of evolution are not always able to. This mysterious barrier is the Wallace Line, 32 that no animal crosses. How can an invisible
Alright, yeah, something with that. Okay, so yeah, this company is over there somewhere. But they pay dividends though, like small portion, but nevertheless, it don't cost much to get in. Less than 50 cents, you spend $2, a buck, like 2.1 shares. I don't think they do fractions. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Last time I bought, I usually do them in full because, like I say, if you have 4 shares, then you get the double those amount. If you got 2 shares, you can pay for 2 shares, like paying dividends. And 52 weeks at 38, 52 weeks at 60. So they got a 20-cent reach for now, as far as the 52-week high, 52 weeks in 1 year. We're currently like on a 40. We're cutting it close. 46, maybe. No, I don't know. We up that. So yeah, and they haven't hit their 52 week high of 60 yet. So you can grow double with them. They don't. You could grow. You could get paid this month and next month. They only pay twice a month. I mean, once a month, and you still got plenty of time. Like if I buy in, I didn't bought in like the first, second week of the month, and still got paid for that month in dividend. Like they might pay out. Let me see, probably like on the 21st. Usually I got paid like on the end of the month. So this is my history. It's not the whole full history because they didn't buy in last time, which was the 7th, 2 days ago, Friday. These are good situations to have too. Like, you might have 50 cents sitting on a card You can just put that on there and have it adding up. This is what I do with like change like that, like 41 cent. Then you'll get paid twice off just having it sit, just like with the cryptos. But on here, the money don't grow from sitting because the only two that grow from sitting is Solana and Ethereum, which I don't have any Solana or Ethereum because Solana right now is $167 and Ethereum is 3,600. And to start getting staking, you need at least one token. I was thinking about purchasing one token of Solana, but I was like, if you're gonna spend 167, you might as well buy like a few million of smaller cryptos. Like I would spend that money on maybe Dogecoin or Cardinal ADA, which is like 58 cents. You could stake these. You could stake Cardinal ADA. That's what I've been making money off for the past 2 months off of the Uphold wallet by staking ADA, and they pay every week, every Thursday. And I just switched it up to a higher percentage, which was the Atom coin. And those are almost $3. It's going up, so I don't know how much it may cost at the moment, but when I bought it, it was like $2.70. Now that's kind of high, right? Like whatever, right? Ripple is like two or some change too. But Ripple was like 250. Shit, it was up there. But now that it's going through all of these changes, of course the price gonna drop because people want to get in at a better price before it do what it do. So the whales, like I was saying, the people who bought millions before it got too high, they the ones. If I'm a whale and I take out like a couple million, they probably put money into something else and the price gonna raise because I'm taking out millions and billions at a time. Like 500 billion one or Ethereum, and that'd be like, let me see. Let's just do some. Let's go back to Bitcoin, right? Or Ethereum, because they've been buying a lot of Ethereum lately too. And here go the news on Ethereum. Announces, well, let me see. I don't know if that's real or not. 25 million cryptocurrency heist trial. Like 25 million in cryptocurrency. Like that's crazy, right? These articles are about different things. Let me see. Show more. I forgot I didn't even share this tab. So you can read articles on here too. This straight from the source, like Benzinga, Decrypt, Benzinga, the Motley Fool. Like these are credible sources. 24/7 Wall Street. These are finance articles. Somebody, I think they just passed away. Somebody was locked up, I believe, in Cincinnati, somewhere, whatever, right? They stole like 25 million crypto, and they was in a federal jail. Something just happened like 2 days ago. I heard about it on the 7th, where it was about this heist or whatever. Then just yesterday, something else happened with the same guy, big brothers or whatever. U.S. spot Bitcoin ETF sees largest daily outflow since August as Bitcoin price hovers around 100,000. So look, on Friday logged 558.4 million worth of network outflows. This could be one person just took out 558.4 million, which would be like probably like 16,000 Bitcoin. No, it ain't. Maybe, but like that's not a lot, right? Like 16,000. 550 million ETFs shared more than 2.1 billion in assets since then. On October 28, like somebody took out 2.1 billion. Like they be taking out a lot. And then when they did that, the price went from 4,500 to like it was like down there 2,000. No, it was like 3,000, the low 3,000. That's how they moved the market. Like that was a well and another well. When they took out that when did they do this? 25 million or not. They had outflow. I just think that they just outflow like 25 million crypto. Wait a minute. When they say outflow, right, that mean like somebody just sold a few cryptos. And when they say the whales, they mean the people who've been having these in the wallet since the cryptos was like $1, and now they like 100,000, and they got like 100,000 of these coins. These people got money. You know what I'm saying? Like the Dogecoin just happened. Like if you spent a couple hundred, not even a couple hundred, if you would just spent $3, you could have made $1 million when it went from December 6th to April. No, that was May. Off $3, you could have made a couple $1 million, and that's what people did. That was the hotlines. That was the news because of those moves they made, and they bought so many coins with $3 because it was way under 10 cents. That's the exact same thing they did with these, and they just been holding on while the price go up. So at that point, like even if like okay, I'll hold on still more until it goes to $1, $2, whatever, right? And I might sell like $100,000 worth, or maybe 1 million worth. And now I'm playing with $1 million, and I just got like 2 more million sitting in my crypto, and it's not even at $1 in value yet. But people not buying it because they don't know that the move just happened and how much you got in that, and how many tokens you got it at. So you'll take the profits, probably spend it or reinvest in a different coin. And that's what they've been doing with these Bitcoins, the whales, the ones who've been holding on to them like that, and they're taking them and buying them in Ethereum. And they're moving it by millions at a time and billions at a time. Like I got 13 million Peppy, and they only got like 100 billion, or yeah, like 100 billion. And some of these don't even have that many in circulation. What they call a hash rate is when they're burning them. Once you sell, some of these tokens they get burned and they're out of circulation. So that makes it less fun. So yeah, you will hear more about these things about hash rate, like how much they got to burn for how much more they, and how the value goes up and down, stuff like that. So if I put out 100 billion in circulation, our hash rate probably like 10 billion. So then I have a billion left to do something with, and I can do like probably 20% of that and put it into staking, meaning people who will buy just specifically for rewards, and then or the other people who will buy for circulation and trading, because some of them be held and they'll be just sitting in wallets, while the other ones will be used for transactions. So that's the thing about staking. Like if I put my money in staking, that means they're going to use my money to cover transaction fees for other people who's buying and or selling, and then I get a reward of that fraction money that they're making off of doing that, and it goes to me every week, every month, or however often they offer those staking rewards for whatever coin it is. And then of course they all platforms are affiliate programs. They offer for you using their services and platform and sharing with your fellow. So I have a link to share with you all. And what comes with this link is $5 free worth of shares of stocks of your choice. And you can see at the bottom they have multiple choices to choose from. Be yours if you use link. And this is how you can start your crypto journey today. Link is always in YouTube channel. Join my frequency. Make sure you